I'm scared to read sad books. I'm fresh-faced, clean, snatch. See, I'm the type of person where I don't like listening to sad music because then I'll like literally cry. So why would I want to listen to music that makes me sad and makes me cry? I will literally be going through a depressive mental breakdown and I will still be listening to repeat. Like you can't put me on a sad song. I can't do that. I could be the happiest ever and the second you put a sad song, like my mood's ruined. I have to switch it off. This is how I feel about books. I have the Rishi Tea Botanical. This is 1 teaspoon. Hey, okay. And you're not supposed to be on the counter. Hi, this is LB. He's my one-eyed man. Wait, yo tengo horchata. Do you think matcha horchata would taste good? Ah! Do you see that? Chapter 1 of You've Reached Sam by Dustin Thau. Tao. I don't like the writing. This is honestly what's reminding me of how I used to write on Wattpad. It went from a line of white canopies runs down the main block for the weekly farmers market to I cross the street to avoid the crowd, hoping not to run into anyone. I could just be nitpicking this, but I understand what you mean when you say I crossed the street to avoid the crowd. You don't want to run into anyone, period. Like, you don't have to repeat that. When you say I crossed the street to avoid the crowd, hoping not to run into anyone, I think you're being redundant. I get what you're saying. Please put trust in the audience, okay? I know that a lot of people are stupid nowadays and need like ABC 1, 2, 3 easiness when they read, but I want the reading community to have a little bit more credit still, okay? We still exist. That when you go into a downtown area in the place that you live in, you're most likely going to run into people that you know. And I already understand in this context that you provided for me that she has been in this depressive rut because she has gone through something so extremely traumatic. With all that, I can understand something as simple as if the main character chooses to cross the street, I understand already that is basically saying she's trying to avoid people. I'm currently getting ready for work, but I just wanted to quickly hop in here. So far, the only thing that's made me sad about this book is the fact that you obviously are thinking about death frequently because, hello, this guy right here has died. I finished this book last night and I wrote my Fable review. It was a lengthy one. Anyways, I started this one. A lot of people are sensitive to the conversation of death and thinking about the afterlife and where do we go and where do our partners go and what if we lose someone. So that part made me really sad. You know, I had that sadness in there because I was thinking about the concept of the story, but I really didn't connect. So I wouldn't consider that a success at getting sad and powering through it. However, I started the book the way I used to be, and I've had this book for a little bit, and this book has been scaring the ever-living crap out of me. When I tell you scaring me, I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. It keeps freaking me out because it has harsh themes in here that I don't know if I'm necessarily ready to open. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna get a therapy read in this book. There's certain words on here I can't say, so if you want to know, look up the description. But it's a book about trauma. I feel it in me that this one is most likely gonna do some numbers on me, but again, the challenge is to get over my fear of reading books that make me sad and touch on hard subjects. Okay, so I feel like one thing I will give this book credit for is that it started me small. I didn't jump into something so freaking depressing. This was a good start. Now it's time to get a little bit more difficult. Okay, we went from appetizer to entree. Yeah, this entree's, yeah, I'll report back to you. Okay, yeah. I am not even halfway into this damn book. When I tell you, I cried. The first time that I started crying when I read this book, which is like literally a few minutes ago, I was reading and then I went like just like that. I like this book. It's definitely getting me. Okay, so I guess I've completed the challenge. Why I started the challenge. I started the challenge to get over my fear of reading books like that. And I think it's because I was just too afraid to cry and feel heavy themes and topics. I think I'm still afraid, but this is pretty heavy and I'm okay. I'm doing it. I've succeeded very nicely despite me crying. But I think the new challenge that I kind of subconsciously put is how much of sad book reading or heavy topic book reading do I have to read before I shed a tear. So like, how much wood does a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck a book made me cry? Okay, yeah, but I guess that's what I was asking for. So my camera's about to die. Bye.
Hold on. Okay, I feel like that wasn't a good ending, and it's because I was too scared to talk about this book. The way that this book made me I love this book with all my heart. I grabbed my sticky note and I would just write down my thoughts and then I would put it on the page. Like, for example, right there. Like, here is... Where is it? Here's another one. After this book, though, I just really wanted to sit a while and marinate in what I had just read. So after marinating, I decided that I'm not going to read something so intense. Actually, lies, because I had bought the Poppy War and I started reading the Poppy War, but I think God knew, I think the universe knew that I needed a change of pace because I got a new book and it's called The Wings of Starlight, okay? The Wings of Starlight, if you know what I'm talking about, then you know. If you know, you know. Okay, I marinated on this and I realized that I'm okay. I'm okay in not reading another sad book until eventually getting there. I can't even talk about it because this is some dark stuff. You know, like I can't. This is one of those things where I wish I could share it, but it's such a book where I feel like every woman, every girl should read. I'm actually so happy this was the first book that I decided to read, because if I read this first and then I followed up with this janky ass book, I don't care if you like this book. This book is so annoying. Dustin just needed characters as vessels to tell a story. What the fuck? I think Photo Booth also agrees with this. It agrees that this one was the one. You know, I'm gonna leave that in because that's hilarious. Like, oh my god, like the sentence structure, the way that there's literally a sticky note in here where I said this is exactly how it sounds to go into an anxiety attack, or like when you feel in danger as a young girl and you can't do anything about it. Like this, she does such a great job. Stop. The last page, I frankly think I had enough. I'm moving on to better things and then eventually going back to being wrecked again.